Sheila, good morning.
Good morning. Hope you can hear me.
Yes.
My name is Sheila Karani, also from USID, the Office of Democracy and Governance.
Thank you,
Over.
Sheila. We're happy to have you today. Thank you so much for joining in. We now go to Daniel Kipto. Daniel, if you can hear me, good morning.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is
Daniel, I think we've lost you. Or is it from my side? Daniel, come up again. Okay, I think we'll come back to Daniel and Joseph in a few. We go to Beatrice. Beatrice, if you can hear me, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. My
Morning.
name is Beatrice Kimiti. Red is the color, Jubilee is the party.
Thank you so much, Beatrice. We're happy to have you here today. Alfred Ongoro, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Alfred Ongoro, KNC.
Thank you so much, Alfred. We are happy to have you. Hassan, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Hassan Abdullah. I work with USAID from the Democracy, Governance and Conflict Office.
Thank you so much, Hassan. We're happy to have you. Now go to Sonia. Sonia, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, I'm Sonia K.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sonia from KNC. We're happy to have you. I'm going to kindly request that we mute our mics. Kindly let us mute our mics so that we do not interfere with the meeting. We will go to Simba Gulaid. Simba, good morning. Simba, if you can hear me. Okay, I don't think he can hear us. And finally, Robert Ouka. Robert, if you can hear me, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Robert Uko from KNC.
Thank you, Robert. We're happy to have you with us today. Kindly mute your mic. And before I go back to our Executive Director, Mr. Franklin Mukwanja, let me welcome Joseph Kituku once more. Joseph, if you can hear me, kindly unmute your mic. Okay, I don't think Joseph can hear us. So let me take this opportunity to once again welcome you to today's meeting and also welcome our Executive Director, Mr. Franklin Mukwanja, to officially open for us the meeting and also give it over to Phyllis to make her remarks. Then we welcome our facilitator for today, Mr. Lucas Kimanthi. Franklin, if you can hear me.
Thank you very much, Maureen, and good morning, colleagues from our political parties. Good morning to my friend and
Frank, kindly unmute.
Oh, sorry, I thought I had unmuted. Thank you very much, Maureen, for leading this process. My name is Franklin Mukwanja, the Executive Director, CMD. Glad to be joined by the member political parties today and seeing the representation at a very high level. And also to welcome our facilitator today, Bwana Lucas Kimanthi from the Kenya Human Rights Commission. Our partners, Chief of Party, SEDSK project, Phyllis, as well as our partners, USAID, who are attending today. This really signifies the importance with which we attach this aspect of infusing human rights in political and electoral process. We have obviously come a long way, having had previous conversations around this topic. And we have reached that level that we're now looking at the framework to be able to assist political parties to infuse the human rights aspects in these processes. And Lucas is here to help us out of the various reports that the Kenya Human Rights Commission conducted and the previous general elections in 2013 and 2017. It is obviously very useful to be able to engage in this exercise right now because it goes a long way to ensuring that we engage in conducting our public affairs, including the right to vote and the right to stand for election, being at the core of our democratic governments, being based on the will of the people, to make sure that the elections are going to be genuine as a necessary and fundamental component to ensure that we all participating very well. So we will not be able to cover a lot, but to ensure that the facilitator has sufficient time to engage in this discussion, and hoping that we will continue working closely with the political parties to not just have this as a talk show, but get to the level of working at an intra-party level to see how individually these political parties are going to make sure that these recommendations that were arrived at from the reports by the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, how they will be acted upon and how these issues will be addressed going forward. Thank you very much, Maureen. I will now invite Phyllis to say a few words and as well as formally introduce the team that is accompanying her from both ZK and USAID. Welcome, Phyllis.
Thank you very much, Franklin and the CMD team, for inviting us to this important event. It's one that we have really been looking forward to. Before I make my remarks, I wish to acknowledge the presence of my colleagues at USAID, and I'm really glad that they made time to join us despite the short notice. So let me give them a few minutes. I know they did introduce themselves, but it could be that there's a word or two they may want to give us. And so I will hand it over to Felicia.
Hi, thank you so much, Phyllis, for the opportunity and also for extending the invite to us. We are really, looking forward to hearing about, the discussions today and what it is that political parties will do moving forward to be able to, address human rights issues, and especially as we approach the general elections. At this point, I'd like to invite our Deputy Office Director, Sheila Karani, to just make a few remarks, and then we'll hand it over back to you. And just to acknowledge that we also have Hassan Abdille. He introduced himself, also from the Office of Democracy, Governance and Conflict. Over to you, Sheila.
Good morning. Trying to put on the video. We normally don't use Zoom, so we struggle a bit. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay.
Very clearly.
Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Franklin, and the team from CMD for inviting us. We received this, it was late notice, but we are glad to be here. As most of you are aware, we are in the process of procuring our activities that will support elections and political processes. And this will be a priority for USAID in the coming months. So we look forward to hearing these conversations around this important aspect of human rights with regards to elections and other political processes. So we are happy to be here and we'll be doing a lot of listening. Thank you so much. Over.
Thank you, Sheila. We really appreciate once again your USAID team for joining us. So as you've been told, members, my name is Phyllis Mbonyo, and I'm the Chief of Party of the Safeguarding Democratic Space in Kenya project, which is funded by USAID and led by FHI 360, but implemented by several partners in Kenya, including some government agencies. And so with support from USAID and for the past 3 years, we have been working with government institutions, the media, local CSOs, to strengthen the democratic gains in Kenya, especially as enshrined in the 2010 Constitution. The scope of our work has entailed revisiting and strengthening our governance architecture. We have been working to strengthen social and ethnic cohesion, particularly focusing on the election hotspots as we know them: Kisumu and its environs, Mombasa, Narok County, Uasin Gishu, Bungoma, just but to name a few. We've also been working to protect the civic and democratic space. I think many of us know that the space for civil society expression has really been shrinking over the years. And so this really was a critical piece of our work. And so that's by and large what the broader program was all about. But now shifting gears to the reason why we met today, I just thought it would be important for me to share with you what Martin Luther King said once in his early career. We do know that he was the American activist, one of the most visible spokesmen on matters to do with democracy, who was later assassinated in 1968. So this is what he said. He said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." He also said, "A man dies when he refuses to stand up for that which is right. A man dies when he refuses to stand up for justice, when he refuses to take a stand for that which is true." So this really shows why the issue of human rights is one that we must really bring close to our hearts and do something about it. We've all witnessed what happens with every election cycle. I think, one of the stories that has been told the most is that of Baby Pendo. We know about Christmas, and the list is endless. All these people, demonstrate the human rights violations that we have continued to experience as a country. And, there's a very clear pattern to things. And so if there is something that we can actually do it, the time is now. We really must take action as political parties, as civil society organizations, media, development agencies, wherever we find ourselves. And so I'm really pleased that CMD has been working very closely with diverse partners to safeguard human rights and to ensure political accountability, this being a very critical piece of work, especially seeing that the 2022 general elections are imminent. We know that for the past couple of weeks, CMD has been facilitating various meetings to guide the development of an electoral and political framework ahead of the general elections in 2022. And so we are really eager to see how that framework is coming out, which I know is the main purpose for this meeting. We do know that this will help to strengthen compliance and political accountability with regards to human rights, especially during the electioneering period. We are very pleased as SAIDSK and FHI 360 to see that CMD has continued to engage key stakeholders drawn from various political parties. I see that the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights is present, Karibu Lucas. And then there are other election management bodies such as IEBC, ORPP, who have also been engaged in this process. And so we look forward to very engaging conversations. We look forward to a process which will ensure that all of these entities can do what it is within their power to infuse the human rights ideals in the operation of the political and electoral processes. And so mine is really to wish CMD and the team the very best, and I really look forward to a fruitful meeting. I also must mention that our program is coming to an end mid of next month, but we take pride in what we have accomplished together with CMD, which has really been beyond what we are currently doing. And we look forward for opportunities to engage further when opportunities are availed. Thank you very much, and handing it over back to Franklin. Bye.
Thank you, Phyllis, and thank you, your SAID team, for joining us in this conversation. Over to you, Maureen and Lucas, to lead the discussions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Franklin, and thank you, Phyllis, for setting the context. Before I welcome Lucas, we are joined by Marjorie Okoye from RPP. Marjorie, if you can hear me, kindly unmute and say hello to everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
I'm
morning.
Marjorie Okoye from the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. We're glad to be here.
Thank you so much, Marjorie, and we are happy to have you. And so without so much further ado, let me welcome our facilitator, Mr. Lucas Kimanthi from the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, to take us through the presentation. Lucas, over to you.
Thank you, Maureen, and good morning, everyone. My name is Lucas Kimanthi. I work with the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights as an assistant director, and I'm glad to join you for this very important discussion. And first, I want to appreciate the initiative by CMD, and also appreciate the role played by CMD-Kenya, FH 360, and USAID. And also thank the participants from the political parties. I'll begin by quoting our report, which was on political parties for the 2017 general elections. And in the introduction part, I just want to quote one statement that we had included, and it reads in verbatim that non-adherence to electoral laws, code of conduct, and party rules point to a worrying trend of lawlessness and disregard to democratic ideals and governance. And the reason why I've made reference to that particular statement from our 2017 party primaries report is to show the importance of human rights in the running of affairs of political parties. We all know that in this country, that at the political parties level, that is where candidates, the moment, depending on one, the geographical aspects, and also probably the dominance of a particular party within a certain area, that the moment you secure a ticket, it is as good as you're already either in the two houses or in the devolved systems. And therefore, then it becomes very competitive at the times we keep on reminding citizens and also party officials that the operations at the political party level must respect the rule of law and human rights. And therefore, allow me to project the slides that will guide our discussion for today. Maureen, confirm you can read my, you can view my screen?
Yes, yes, you can read it.
Yes. The way I've structured the discussion is that we'll look at the political parties and issues to do with human rights and accountability. Just have a brief reflection on the background to operations of political parties in this country since independence. And also just reflect briefly on the critical legal instruments for political parties. Of course, we'll take a very short time on that so that we have more time for plenary. And then we'll look at the application of human rights-based approach within political parties. And then after that, then spend a bit of time looking at the framework which are proposed for the political parties. And then after that, we can have the conclusion and the plenary. So allow me to proceed that the framework which we are going to have a discussion about is mainly for mainstreaming human rights within the operation of political parties in this country. And mainstreaming means that in all the operations, administrative and otherwise, should have an element at any given time of human rights. And then the framework that we are going to discuss about is based on what is within the Constitution and also in the relevant legislation. At times, when as actors in governance and political accountability spheres, at times we tend to imagine our own things and then include them either in the tools or in the frameworks. But for me and the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, we are very clear that any standards that we are going to set must emanate from the Constitution and any other relevant legislation. And for this matter, the Political Parties Act of 2011 will come into play. And then the framework which we're going to discuss is for adoption and application for political parties. This is to mean that political parties will feel free to adopt and tailor make it in a way that it will suit the operations of the particular political party, so that we are not going to impose the framework as it is, but rather make it as a tool for adoption and inclusion in any political parties documents and relevant frameworks. Why accountability and human rights within political parties activities? I'll begin by saying that while at any given time, like in the Kenyan context, the 5-year cycle, where perhaps other actors, either constitutional commissions, local observation missions, international observation missions, get to interrogate the issues within political parties, it is important also that political parties, through the framework that we are going to discuss, initiate processes for self-assessment and an assessment that will be inward-looking, so that even before the external observers and monitors who will be coming to look into your affairs, you'll have already done it. The other thing is we'll keep on making reference to Article 91 of our Constitution. And there are two key issues there within that article, that every political party must respect the right of all persons to participate in political processes, including minorities and marginalized groups. We'll discuss that further later. Then within that article, Article 91 of the Constitution of Kenya, that all political parties must respect and promote human rights and fundamental freedoms and gender equality and equity. So as we continue with our discussions, those two sections will be very, very, sub-articles, sorry, will be very, very crucial. Then we want also in our discussion today to look at all the key processes, so that I know at the moment between now and August next year, what is very key for the political parties is the issue of the party primaries. But we need to start, looking at, the framework from, the point of the formation of a political party, the registration, recruitment, the bit of primaries and nominations, and all that. However, we'll not spend a lot of time on the part of formation, registration, recruitment, and all that, but we'll spare a bit of time for the primaries and nominations, because I know that is very critical for political parties in this country at the moment and going forward. Just a bit of a reflection on the political parties' operations. What happened in 1963, starting as a multi-party democracy until 1969, when although it was not within the law, it's like now the country was operating as a single party state. And this up to 1982, we know what happened, the constitutional amendment, which now by law, now we had to operate as a single party state. Until 1991, again, when Section 2A was repealed, and then we reverted back to a multi-party system. As at August 2021, and I picked this from the website, the ORPP website, that there were 75 fully registered political parties in Kenya. That's quite a number. And the formation is guided by Section 34E of the Political Parties Act. And also, as I had said, in line with Article 91 of the Constitution. And also Part 3 of the Political Parties Act of 2011. Some critical legal instruments for political parties. Of course, the paramount instrument is the Constitution, Article 91, which gives us how political parties should be formed and how they should operate. The political parties, very, very important, because now it lists, the way, legally political parties, should operate. Then the other important ones, which I don't want to spend a lot of time on, the Election Offences Act. Sorry, I repeated the Political Parties Act. The IBC Act, Elections Campaign Financing Act, which as a country, at the moment there's a lot of discussion around, the Supreme Court Act, and also publication of Electoral Opinion Polls Act, which is very, very important. The reason why I'm bringing this for discussion is because these are the legal instruments which provide for the requirements for registration of a political party. It also outlines the issues to do with the conduct of elections and referendum for various officials and also seats. Another very important thing, disputes resolution, issues to do with funding of political parties, and also how other key actors, should be governed. IBC, Registrar of Political Parties, PPBT, Judiciary, and other key actors. Again, referring back to Article 91, sub-article 1E, that it is very important that all the operations within political parties must respect the right of all persons to participate in the political processes, including minorities and the marginalized group. I'll keep on repeating this statement because it's very, very important. And therefore, for us, as the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, and also as per the internationally accepted standards, that any given institution, at any given time, anywhere in the world, must infuse what we call the human rights-based approach, HRBA. And the political parties are no exception to this. And then from now henceforth now, we'll keep on now also discussing about what this human rights-based approach is all about. Just a few, I'm sure most of you might be aware of these statements, but I felt it is important that we also just refresh our minds on the same, because they are going to help us in the discussion of the framework. The first word there is human rights. That as a human being, by virtue of being a human being, there are certain entitlements which come to you and me naturally by just the virtue of being a human being. I've talked about a human rights based approach, and this is an attempt, a deliberate attempt, which is supposed to shape the operations of any given institution, including political parties, putting human beings at the center of development. For instance, if a political party A or B or C is formed, that the intent of that political party would be human beings first. It will not be a big office for the political party, a good name, fancy colors. No, the focus would be human beings, whether they're members, whether they're citizens, whether they're officials, but human beings will be given, the well-being of the human beings will be given the first priority. The principles, human rights principles, the acceptable processes, which should be not have discriminatory issues about accountability, and also empowerment of the people. And then these standards should be what should be agreed, at the very minimum, so that if we say political party A is to engage, let's say something to do with registration, that the standards should be, at the very minimum, bring out the desirable outcome and level of human rights. And then lastly, vulnerable groups, that at any given time within the society, they are members of the society who, by one reason or another, are susceptible to either physical, emotional attacks, or harm, like even within the political parties, that there are certain sections of the members of the society who, because of certain circumstances, require support or further protection. So I felt it is important to highlight some of those key terminologies, because they are very important in our next discussion. Now, I invite you to view my my screen. Hello. So that we can have a discussion as to why it is important to infuse human rights within political parties. Hello, Joseph. Okay, let's proceed. Why is it important to have human rights standards within the operations of political parties? And if you look at on my screen on the right, you'd see requirements or responsibilities. On my left side, the obligations or the duties. And I want us to begin from the lower level, because we've said that institutions. Hi, Joseph. That we've said that any institution, political parties included, must put human beings at the center of the operations. And therefore, I want to begin at the lowest level of membership.
Look.
Hello, Maureen?
Lucas, if you can hear me.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting you.
Yes.
I'm just going to kindly request that maybe you may consider switching off your video.
Okay, okay.
Yes, maybe you can switch off your video so that we can get you clearly. I think there might be a connection issue from your side, and also to request the members to kindly switch off their mics. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Therefore, membership within political parties is a very critical element. Reason being that political parties can only exist if they have members. The members, the ordinary members, the officials are also members of the political parties in discussion. And therefore, then the membership, first and foremost, even if one is an official, first and foremost is a member of that political parties, of that political party. And therefore, then these members become what we call now the people who hold the rights within that political party. And this will include the youth, people with disabilities, men, women, special groups, and any other category is prescribed in the Political Parties Act. And therefore, on the extreme end, you on my left side, you look at now what are the obligations of the members. That one is to promote political party ideals. That as a member, first and foremost, you also have a responsibility. Two, if there are contributions, required fees, as a member, you have an obligation, to do that, and also participate in the activities of the political party, either to popularize, to participate in recruitment drives, to participate in party primaries, and all that. Again, on my right hand, the political party. Now, after the members come together and form the political party. The requirements that you expected by law to have a list of members, to have an existing office, the head office and the county offices, to have officials who will be driving the affairs of the political party, to run accounts and keep other relevant records. Again, as a duty bearer, you have an obligation to satisfy constitutional and legal requirements, that whatever is prescribed in the Political Parties Act and also Article 91 of the Constitution, any given political party must satisfy those requirements, then hold meetings and any other activities and serve members, as the internal, documents and agreements, within the political party. On top, the statutory bodies, this will include ORPP, IBC, PPDT, the constitutional commissions, judiciary, and all that, that it is expected that the political party must adhere, and also, these other statutory bodies adhere to, the requirements, as prescribed in the Constitution and also in the Political Parties Act. Then you have an obligation to regulate and enforce the law or the provisions of the law within the confines of the same law, so that if it's about a political party going against maybe a certain section of the law, it is expected that either ORPP, IBC, and any other institution mandated to do that, then should operate within the rule of law to enforce the same. You'll allow me to switch to another document. It is the same what I'm sharing on my screen, but in a Word format because it's clearer and will give us a better way of engaging. So just allow me to share that document right away.
Sorry, Lucas, if you might be speaking, somehow you have muted your mic. Maybe you may.
I'm in the process of sharing the other document. That's why I've muted. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Maureen, confirm you can view my screen.
Yes.
Yes. So this is where I want us to spend a bit of time to engage. Kindly feel free at any given time where you might want to interject. So that if there is anything that you might want me to clarify, then I'll be glad to do so. As I had said, the framework will be based on the provisions of the Constitution, and also what is also prescribed in other pieces of legislation. And also we'll also look at the administrative aspect in terms of party operations and all that. And then in the discussion, I'll also make reference to our 2017 elections monitoring reports, just for purposes of giving examples, and also for purposes of making demonstrations. So that the points would be clear. The first requirement, which is constitutional, that as a political party, you must seek to comply with Article 91 of the Constitution. I said I'll keep on repeating this time and again. And if you look at the provisions of Article 91 of the Constitution is one. The main thing there is to have a national outlook. I don't want to sound political, but it is very clear between you and I that certain political parties, over time, I'm not talking of this particular period, that at times we've had political parties either formed and not in a way which would reflect, the national outlook, so that a political party, it's easy to pinpoint and say that political party is for this or that region in this country. This political party, at times we even make it sound like it's ethnic, that this political party, belongs to a certain community or a certain group of communities. And therefore the Constitution is very clear that is a requirement that political parties, must have a national outlook. The indicators, have offices across, the country. I think the law is very clear that at least half of, the 47 counties, and 24 would be the ideal number. Then this must be within the party regulations in terms of, the timelines, how you are going to form, these parties. If you can have offices within and membership in all the 47 counties, and having all the communities within the party, that would be the ideal situation. And this is a responsibility for party officials and also members. And then the other requirement as per Article 91 is to have democratically elected, governing body. Section 7, 3, A, B, C, D, and also Section 5 is very clear that officials within a political party, the people who will be driving the affairs of a political party, must be democratically elected. And for this, of course, the part of resource needs is, what do you require? You need finances, you need people, to do all that, election materials and all that. And the indicators should be, if we look at, the lists that have been submitted to the ORPP, does it reflect, that the members were democratically elected, through the minutes and all that? And then the other thing is the issue of composition of members in terms of gender and special need. These are human rights requirements as per the Constitution. I think, Maureen, tomorrow we are going to have a discussion with the same discussion with the honorable lady members from political parties, and I'm sure it will be most likely to be a heated debate on the same, especially because of what we've been grappling with as a country, the two-thirds gender, rule. And tied to that, issues to do with people with disabilities, youth, and special needs people. Last week, I attended a meeting which had been organized by FIDA. Probably some of you also participated in the same, and I picked some very worrying statistics in terms of composition, especially in terms of nominations, the county level, gender issues, special needs, youth, allegations of 60-year-old, being nominated to represent the affairs of the youth and all that. And therefore, then if that is not clear, it is not done, the composition is wrong, then that would be going against the tenets of human rights. And for this, one of the key and critical institutions to check on this is actually the ORPP, and also the party officials and also the members should be in a position to raise red flags whenever this happens. The other thing, and also going back to the quote from the KNCHR report on party primaries for 2017, observing and adhering to the party code of conduct. It is very clear, it's a constitutional requirement which is supposed to guarantee the rights of the members, the candidates and the officials, that all the categories within the political party must observe and adhere to the political party code of conduct. And for indicators, I'm sure all political parties represented here must be having a ratified code of conduct and all that. And this, the responsibility that the officials and the members, ORPP again, and others. The other bit is the legislative requirement so that political parties can guarantee human rights. And I've borrowed this from the Political Parties Act and also other related pieces of legislation, that there must be, the operations must be strictly within the confines of the law. Because if we operate within the law, then we guarantee the rights of all the members within the political party. And I'll begin with one. Adhere to the laid down registration process. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure the discussion that we had, I think we had this in 2013, 2017, and about 2 months ago, about the issues of registration of members within political parties, so that you could hear murmurs, you could hear tremors, thunderstorms, people threatening to sue because Mr. ABCD found himself in a being registered as a member of a political party, which Mr. ABCD doesn't know whether even that political party exists. And therefore, it is very important that, I'll feel bad as Kimanthi to find myself registered without my consent in a political party whose ideology and aspirations I don't subscribe to. And therefore, then it is very important that the registration process must respect the rights of the citizens of this country. The other one is political parties must operate as duly registered entities. That it is a legal requirement meant also to satisfy and promote and protect the rights of the citizens of this country. That a company will not operate as a political party. A political party, and if you look at the Political Parties Act, you see the process of seeking registration up to the full approval of the same, and therefore a political party cannot operate if it has not satisfied what is prescribed in the Political Parties Act. Now, of course, some of the things which are important is the name of the party, the symbol, rules and regulations. I like the introduction that was done this morning by the member from the representative from Jubilee Party. Being proud of the political party colors, the slogans, address and location of the head office, registration certificate, and all that. And the reason why I'm bringing this is, for instance, if I pick the issue of, let's say, the symbols. I had an opportunity to look at the list of the registered political parties in this country, which is very well done by the ORPP, and it is on their website. You look at the symbols, some of them very clear, others, the jury is out there. The colors at times, people, saying this is our color, you should not do, The issue of address and location of head office, so that it is normal for institutions to keep on changing, the address because of certain circumstances. But how often do we update, this information? Because for us, even as the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, at times we want to do correspondence to certain political parties, and we find it very difficult, because we don't know where the office is and all that. And therefore, if the members, for instance, if you shift the office from location A to B, and you don't inform the members, then you'll be infringing on their rights, because now the issue of the right to information, comes into play. Then the other legislative requirement, which is meant also to protect the rights of the members and the officials, is to have required legal party documents. The Constitution, manifesto, action plans, gender policy, youth policy, and related documents. It is within the public domain that recently, I don't want to mention the names of the political parties involved, but we've had issues where you find certain officials, claiming that no, we are the bona fide members of these political parties and we are the bona fide officials. And then others, saying no, we are the ones who legally mandated to do A, B, C, D. And then for me, it begs the question as to what is included in the legal party documents? What is in the Constitution? What is in the action plans? What is, all this related, including the registration documents, the lists provided to the ORPP and such. Because the moment you have these tussles within a political party, maybe because the legal party documents are not very clear, then you jeopardize the operations of the political party, and then the rights of the members, gets infringed. The issue of also, allow me also to, on the issue of the party documents, the issue of, suppose there are coalitions, the political party wants to join another party and form a coalition. Suppose 2, 3, 4, 5 political parties want to dissolve and merge into one. Where are these documents? Do the members get to know the information of the coalition or the merger instruments, or is it a document that is secretly drafted and kept by a few members within a political party? It is very important. It is within the rights of the members of any given political party to have all that information, if there is any intention either for a coalition or merger. Political parties, to guarantee the rights of members, that the categories of members must be within the law. Lists must not have minors. It is very clear within the Constitution and also the Political Parties Act that issues to do with promotion of religious issues, should not be business of a political party. Issues to do with a certain section of a category of members either promoting the ideals of a political party, because that would be now against the law. Then the other issue is members within a political party, members, officials, and everybody, all the categories which come together to form the political party must be given specified rights and privileges. The reason why I'm saying specified is that, for instance, if members, it is within the law that members have to have that right to inspect books of accounts, to inspect certain documents, to seek and get specified information. And therefore, then a political party must guarantee the same. Maureen and members, kindly allow me a 2-minute break. I just pick something and then I continue from there. Maureen?
Yes, Lucas.
Yeah,
Please
just a 2
proceed. I'm
minutes.
also going to encourage, yes, Lucas, please proceed. I also encourage the members to just grab maybe a cup of water or tea so that we can continue once you come back.
Or then we make it a 5-minute break, hoping that our members are not going to drop out.
Yes, Lucas, I hope they won't drop off, but then we can take a 5-minute break.
We continue from 10:25. We can proceed. Maureen, we can proceed.
Yes, please, we can proceed, and also request that we kindly mute our mics so that we do not interfere with the presentation. Yeah, Lucas, kindly proceed.
Okay, thank you. The other part is the administrative aspect of the running of the affairs of a political party, and how these administrative actions should be tailored in a way that would guarantee, promote, and protect the rights of the members of the political party and any other person who would be working with the political party, either as a stakeholder or a constitutional body or any other institution. And to start us off on the administrative aspects, that it is very important that a political party must operate transparent and open resources register and books of accounts. The reason why I'm raising this is part of the disputes within political parties emanate from the fact that members of a political party would either feel that they've been denied the right to inspect those books, or either feel that they've not been accorded, the right, to information in terms of, for instance, how much money is in the accounts of a political party, in terms of the resources, assets, and all that. And therefore, it is very important that, that right to information, that right, to know the net worth of a political party is accorded, to the members. It's also accorded, to other institutions which will be transacting business, either because of a legal standing or something. And therefore, these registers must be in a way that in a continuous form, that if I'm a member of a political party A and I want to inspect audited accounts for 2016, the only thing that I need to do is to know when I should request for that information and when it should be availed. And it is in human nature that if I'm not accorded, that right, then I'll start, either suspecting that things are not right within the political party, and then things may not work out well, either acrimony or anarchy and such things. Tied to that, it's very important that the declaration of sources of funds, that we need, either as members of a political party or officials of a political party, all of us, that the declaration of the sources of the funds, is it from the political party's fund, contributions and subscriptions, donations, and all that. The reason why I'm raising this is, as a member of a party, I have that right, to know that we've gotten 5, 10, 20 million from a certain quarter. It is within the legal means, and I'm entitled by virtue of being a member of that political party that I should feel that those resources I have a stake in the same, to avoid a scenario where either my seniors within the political party will say, what did you bring to the table? I brought 20 million. What did you bring to the table? So that the declaration should, in a way, make us, as a member of a political party, a certain political party, feel that we have a stake in all the resources, and that despite somebody somewhere bringing more or less, doesn't feel left out in the party affairs. Of course, ORPP again has a big role to play in this. The other thing, I said something about the head office and the county offices. That it is very important that any given political party, the right to information, that we must, run an accessible, and accessibility has two aspects here. That if the headquarters of a political party is maybe not in Nairobi, let's pick a town like Narok. Where will that office be situated? Is it within Narok town or the farthest part of Narok County? So that now, as a member of that political party, as a stakeholder of that political party, I should be in a position to access that political party in terms of a distance. You make it easy for me. Accessibility also means that I also had an opportunity to look at the addresses for the political parties by what has been listed by the ORPP. That is it in first floor? Is it in fifth floor? Is it where is it? Therefore, the rights of for instance, persons with disabilities, are they able to access these offices? Do those offices have ramps? Do those offices, have stairs? Do those offices, how are they structured? If let's say, for instance, Mr. Kimanthi is a member of a political party who has issues to do with eyesight. If I want to access that office, the right, for me as a person who has issues with eyesight, am I able, to access that office, and so on and so forth. The other thing is issues to do with officials and staff. That it is very important to keep one adequate. You'll agree with me that because of resources, at times it's not easy to run the ideal number of members of staff in maybe head office and the county offices for 5 years and all that. But it is very important that at least at any given time that you get to an office of a political party. It should not be a situation where the person at the reception is the one who is keeping the books of accounts, is the one who is the PA, I don't know, and the advisor to who and who, so that it should be in a way that, let there be adequate, staff. And for me, that's why in the parts of the part of the responsibilities, I've included the members. Where a political party is straining financially, is it possible for members maybe to volunteer, and offer these services? Issues to do with remuneration, the pay, that as much as members can volunteer to serve in certain offices, but is there something commensurate to what they are doing? When we look at the books of accounts, the audited accounts, and we look at the administrative costs, does it reflect that staff, have been remunerated well. And then I want to insist on this. We can discuss later. The issue of keeping professional staff within our head offices and also the county offices. Reason being, and allow me to say that at times, either through social media or through the mainstream media, at times you'd see comments from certain, party officials, and then at times you wonder if there's a secretary general, there's a patron, there's a chairperson, there's a probably the communications officer. Then you wonder who is supposed to communicate to us as members of the public and as stakeholders. So that for me, it distorts, that right to information, because as a stakeholder, as a member of that political party, it is within my right to get, the correct information, because I don't want to get, if I belong to political party A or B, I don't want to get information from, let's say, let me pick the Secretary General, and then tomorrow, another official, just gives another, a parallel statement on the same. Keep a clean and accessible register of assets. Why? Because these assets belong to the members. They belong to the party, and the party belongs to the members. And therefore, if, for instance, through my contributions as a member of a political party, and we acquire certain assets, vehicles, furniture, and such, it is my right to know, where those assets are, and the situation they are in. And as a member, I should be accorded that right to access and inspect, those registers. The issue of regular party meetings and other consultative processes, it is within the rights of the members of a political party. That are things to do with annual general meetings, the other meetings as are prescribed in the Constitution and other regulations. As a member of a party, I should
Lucas,
yes.
Just a minute. Alfred Ongoro, kindly mute your mic. Thank you so much. Lucas, you may continue.
Thank you. I don't want to sound political. I'm not a politician. That at times we are treated to sort of, allow me to call it drama. That at times you hear that there was a meeting by party members. Let's pick an example of Nyayo Stadium. But then after a day or so, then you hear, no, that meeting was not sanctioned by the organs of the party. And therefore, the official meeting will be held in Kirigiti Stadium in Kiambu. I'm just picking those as random examples. So that if it is AGM, if it's about any other meetings, is it within a stipulated schedule, either within the Constitution or any other party instrument? Because the moment 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 50 members of a party go and hold a secretive meeting somewhere, then it means if that political party has 5,000 members, it means the rest will be denied, that right to participate in the affairs of the management of the party. Of course, I know this requires resources, but then it should be within the party instruments, to say that if the 5,000 of us cannot meet, we've learned, for instance, good lessons. We can hold a meeting for 200 people, either virtual or it should be very, very, very clear. Then, and I know this is very important, the effective and efficient holding of party processes. Continuous recruitment drives in various parts of the country, because it's a constitutional requirement that a political party must have a national outlook. That the recruitment should be done in a way that it is across the country. Either the physical recruitment drives, online recruitment drives, or any other method that can be used. It is hilarious to hear that in this country that some people have found themselves being registered as members of political parties, which they know nothing about. Somebody joked that the M-Pesa registers are the ones at times used, to register that. It's not right, because it is against my right to be registered in a party that I don't subscribe to its ideology, and it's also not a right for me to register as a member of a political party and satisfy all the requirements, only later on to learn that my name was dropped or something, something of that sort. And then this recruitment drive should include the various members of the society as prescribed in law. If I want to be a member of, let's say, political party D, and I satisfy all the requirements as per the law, if I'm going to be denied that opportunity, then it should be explained to me why I'm being denied that right to belong to that party. If I'm going to be deregistered, it should be very, very clear why I'm being registered as a member of that party. Again, if this party does not satisfy, the inclusion of the youth, women, minorities, people, persons with disabilities, then it will be denying certain sections of society, their human rights. Party primaries. That it is within the law that as an administrative function that political parties must hold party primaries. In 2013 and 2017, I had an opportunity to lead two teams which monitored the party primaries. And I had given a reason why, as a National Commission on Human Rights, the reason why we feel we have an obligation to monitor the party primaries. Of course, the premium is very high at that level, given geographical and dominance of political party issues. But then there are a few things which I want to pinpoint. That if party primaries within any given political party is not done in the correct way, for me, I can automatically conclude that the whole process up to the national level then would be flawed. I was very, very happy when I had Chebukati saying that he's going to refuse to, admit certain registers, certain nomination lists from political parties if they will not satisfy certain, certain provisions of the law. However, even before we get to the list, the process of getting this list, in 2017, it was a bit chaotic. We did a report titled "The Fallacious Vote," and you and I know that fallacious is derived from the word fallacy. The fallacy describes something which appears to be there, but in real sense, not there. Why? For instance, the issue of ballot materials in most of the polling stations for the party primaries where we visited, most of them were not there. The members' lists, some political parties cleverly approached IBC and got the previous register of members, and that's what they adopted, as a list of members. Other political parties chose to register members the material day so that somebody would come to the polling station, register as a member, then proceed and vote as a member of that political party. I'm saying this, I know it's a bit weighty, but we have the evidence, and the report titled "Fallacious Vote" is on our website, and you can have a look at some of those things I'm talking about: ballot materials, a list of members, registers, and all that. Allowances for officials. Kindly, for the officials present in this discussion, it is important to pay your officials when they do these critical activities. Some of the polling stations we visited, like in 2017, it's actually, and we congratulated in our report, we congratulated the security personnel, because in many circumstances they took up the responsibility to coordinate certain things, because obviously the party officials in most cases seemed either overwhelmed or not very well motivated. We can discuss that later. The nominations. I'm sure this is a very critical area for discussion. That the lists that we are going to forward to IBC, so that our candidates from our respective political parties compete with the others. It is within the tenets of the rights of citizens, the rights of members of the political parties, so that the issue of 2/3 gender rule, the provision of the youth, persons with disabilities, and all those related factors, the nominations must satisfy all that. Then the other important thing is the issue of alternative dispute resolution mechanism. This is very, very important and very, very critical. One of the things we also noted as the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights in 2017 was the timing of the party primaries. And we noticed that most of the political... Hello, Kennedy. We noticed that most of the political parties chose to have their primaries either a day or a day to the deadline, or on the material day. And some members of those political parties who we spoke to felt that it was a scheme either to lock them out, or already some certificates had already been given out. We also received so many complaints from candidates from various political parties who came to our office claiming that they had won, but the certificate had already been issued either to the opponents or people would not even participate in the process. And therefore, that aspect creates acrimony, because now people would either rush and become independent candidates, or they would move to join other political parties. And then that itself is a denial of the right, one, to participate effectively in the matter, and also where members and candidates within a political party feel that they've been aggrieved, they need to be given or accorded that opportunity for their disputes to be resolved. Okay, and it's very important that all the political parties are represented in today's discussion. That I hope that within the set of your documents, that you have at least a document which addresses issues to do with dispute resolution and all that, so that it is a right, for any given member of the society, members of political parties, to be accorded a fair chance, for them to hear their grievances and their grievances to be addressed. Then the other right which this framework seeks to address is the issue of the right, to information. And there are two aspects here. One, does the political party, if we pick my example of political party A, does it share the relevant party information to its members? Or do members just get information through the media, press conferences and all that? Do members, get, regular updates in terms of resources, in terms of, plans, like for 2022, are members getting adequate information as to how the nomination process, how the party primaries, how the campaigns will be done? I know this begs for, resources, but it's very, very important. Why? If you deny people the right to information, then you give them an automatic opportunity to keep on guessing and to keep on speculating things. And therefore, it's very, very important that information within the membership is shared. Then also information to the members of the public that it is my right within as a citizen, because political parties, some are funded by taxpayers' money, and therefore I have that right, to know what is happening. It is also for the benefit of the political party to share information to the information to members of the public, because this is now what will lead, to enticing members of the public to join a certain political party. It is what will make a political party shine and all that. And then also just like sharing information to the members of within a political party, this also requires a bit of resources. And for the members and the officials, it's very, very important that during fundraising, that then all these things are factored in. You'll allow me so that we can have at least an hour or so for plenary to go back to my, let me see. No, it's okay. We proceed from here. Then all these things that I've raised, that I had said, they remain a working document for a political party to adopt, to incorporate in the operations. We can have further discussions through CMD as to how this can be incorporated and mainstreamed within the affairs of the political parties represented in this discussion. Allow me about 10 minutes just to demonstrate a checklist as to how a political party can gauge itself whether it is in the process or it has already mainstreamed the aspect of human rights within its operations. And I know most of you might have come across, the human rights-based approach, procedure, and there are a number of key issues which I'm going to highlight, and then that now can lead now to the plenary discussion. One, a parameter on human rights called participation. And then a general question would be, are party members allowed to participate in their fully, not just to participate once in a while, but fully in the affairs of the party? And in the rating, I chosen 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and therefore, 1 would be the lowest. If let's say a political party with 5,000 members, and we subject this checklist to 1,000 of them, if 999 tick 1, then it means that in terms of participation, members in the affairs of that political party is not right. However, if 1,000 tick 4, then it means members are satisfied and they feel that they've been accorded that opportunity to participate fully in the affairs of the political party. 2, we've discussed about issues of resources, management of party affairs, and all that. Issues to do with accountability. So that if I'm a member of a political party A, if I'm asked in the last financial year, how much money did you receive as a political party, and how was the expenditure? I should be able, to give, even if not the very correct figures, but I should be able to say that I feel that money was spent in the right way. The donations that we received were spent in the right way. So that now, if I tick 1, it means something is not right. If I tick 4, then it will mean I feel that the managers of the political party, the officials, are very accountable. Issues to do with discrimination as a human rights parameter. That do all the members and officials feel, and underline that, members and officials, do they feel that they've been accorded the same treatment regardless of gender, race, status, religion, etc.? We can even include there after race, maybe something ethnic, so that if I'm in a party which public perception, has it that it's like it's affiliated to certain communities, should I feel that I'm welcome in that in that party and I don't feel discriminated? Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 being the lowest, 4 being the highest. Human dignity, that do all the members and party officials feel treated with dignity and decorum, the way they deserve? Allow me to use this example without prejudice. That at times we've seen from 2007 up to 2017, and even post 2017, some members of either officials or even members being treated in a way. Either we've seen them being physically assaulted, being ejected from their offices, and palatable words being printed either through the social media or the mainstream media, so that, you know, human dignity is very important. Remember, we said that the human rights principles we are discussing here is first and foremost aimed at putting human, you know, face first and foremost in all the activities of the party. Empowerment. Why is it that after every 5 years or so that members, you know, feel that they need to jump ship from political party A to C to K and all that? Do we have that aspect of, you know, empowering members to be able to stick, you know, to the ideals and to support the activities of the party? Because empowerment is one factor, is one parameter of human rights, which political parties must seek to ensure that it is incorporated within its operations. And lastly, the rule of law. If we operate within the rule of law and constitution, the constitution, then that is very, very important. However, if you look at the KNCHR 2017 report on party primaries, and you look at some of the issues that we've recorded there, issues to do with bribery, issues to do with violence, issues to do with destruction of property. If a political party is supporting such things, then would automatically say the mark there would even be a -1, not even 1. And therefore, if this checklist serves the political party well, then 7 would be the lowest and 48 would be the ideal. And therefore, friends, if we strive to make our political parties adopt this framework and endeavor to score a 48 based on what I'm sharing on my screen, then that would be the ideal set of political parties that we need to have in this country. Maureen, I want to pause at this particular moment, then you guide us as to how we are going to proceed after now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sorry. Thank you so much, Lucas, for that elaborate presentation, you know, from taking us through what incorporation of political parties, what political parties should look like from incorporation, and also adhering to what the rule of law is saying, up to the involvement of the party members to ensure that, you know, they even actively participate in the activities of the party. At this moment, I'm going to open up, you know, the Q&A session, and I'm going to encourage the participants to throw in their questions. I hope we all know how to use the Zoom functions, and on the functions we have, you know, the raise hand function. And I'm going to encourage that if you have a question, kindly raise your hand. And so that once I see your hand up, I'm going to call your name so that you can make your contribution. In addition to that, we have the chat function. If you have a question, just you may, you know, and you prefer to type in, if your mic is not working, please utilize the same function. Let me just check to see if we have questions. So far, I cannot see members raising their hands, but we may want to open it up so that we can even have, you know, members just unmuting and, you know, for a start, and asking the questions to the to our facilitator today, Mr. Lucas, and also will be helped by even the party members themselves to answer some of these questions. The forum is now open for any questions or clarifications from the presentation.
Captain Ofuba from Jubilee, I would like to ask something.
Yes, Captain.
Thank you, Mr. Lucas. You have given a very nice presentation. I'm very happy. Very happy, Kabisa. The only thing I want to know is the rights. Some of the rights you have said that the members in the party should have, especially inspecting the accounts and all the books. Are those rights really absolute? Because we see a lot of people running away from the parties overnight. The following day, they are in another party. They are applying to change, and they are carrying with us a lot of information. With them, they are carrying with them a lot of information from the party they did inspection in. So is that right actually absolute? And then the other thing which I have observed is the right to the youth, minority, and the marginalized group. Lucas, there is the CMD and HR, Human Resources, Human Rights Commission. They have worked so hard to make sure that those people are given a chance. But that right, without being accorded resources, is it really fair? And if it is not fair, how can we do? What can we do to assist the youth? Like, for example, last time during the campaign, the youth were actually just walking from a whole constituent walking on foot trying to campaign. They didn't have any resources at all. They have got very bright, brilliant ideas. This is their country. Me, of course, it's no longer mine because I'm on my way out. But for the youth, is it fair to say that they have got the right to participate, but the resources are minimal, are not even given to them? So that's my only observation I've seen. And I would like at least to clarify on the right to absolute inspection of facilities and something like that.
Thank you, Captain. Lucas, you may want to just come in and answer the question on the right to access the party accounts and also on matters of facilitation as we wait for the other members to even internalize the presentation and also come up with the questions.
Thank you, Captain. On the issue of inspection of books of accounts and whether that right is absolute, it is very clear. I was just trying to
Lucas, kindly unmute.
Sorry. Thank you, Captain. To respond on the issue of the right of a member of a political party to inspect, books and registers, and whether that right is absolute. I was trying to look at, the Political Parties Act. I've not gotten the exact section, but as we proceed, I'll be able to get it and then pinpoint it. That the laws of natural justice and management of institutions, political parties included, is that usually, of course, to avoid acrimony and confusion, if I can use that word, in the operations of a political party, that it is usually given a certain number of days. Say, if Kimanthi is a member of political party A, and Kimanthi wants information about books of accounts, that then within the regulations of the political party A, there could be a provision that for Kimanthi to inspect those books of accounts, he needs to give a notice of 7 days, okay? So that within the 7 days, it will accord the officials time to prepare the required information and also to give them an opportunity also so that I don't ambush them, to give them an opportunity to address other party matters and then also consider my request. So that's how naturally it's supposed to be. And therefore, if it is not within the political parties' documents, it's very important that you seek to include that. Of course, members or officials running away with information, then it is not right. And I think that's why we're having this discussion, that when you deny people the right to information, it is wrong. And you remember the diagram I portrayed on the obligations and the responsibilities. I should be protected as a member of a political party if I feel my party is not according me the services that legally I'm entitled to. Then either the office of the registrar of political parties or any other institution should be able to guarantee me that right. And therefore, this is to say that it cannot be said to be an absolute right, that it is a right, yes, to get that information, but not on demand. Okay, that would be my best take on it. The issue of the youth and the marginalized and the participation in the management of political party affairs. It is very unfortunate, and I agree with you, Captain, that and out of experience, that majority of the youth, when it comes to activities of political parties, they are usually given what we call kazi ya mkono, that go mobilize these people, perhaps, go and distribute these t-shirts, go and do, kutumwa tu. But is it deliberate that within the instruments of the political party, that the role of the youth in the affairs of the political party should be defined? And that's why we're having this discussion, that let's not, Captain, have, make our youth, trek, from point A to point Z, which is 50 kilometers, while the Mukubwa is in a Prado, and we say now these are our supporters. You see, we have many people. It's very, very important that the role of the youth, because it's a human rights requirement for political parties, that it must be included within the documents of the political parties. At the moment, I want to stop there.
Thank you, Lucas, for those remarks, and also, inform Captain Fabwa. Maybe you may want to have a look at what your political party has in place on matters access to information, and I think then that will be a good, place to start on how members from the various political parties can even access the information that they may want from your political party, and making reference to the Access to Information Act. I think that one will be the best way to go forward on how to get information from within the political parties. I can also see we have Gisore and Kennedy Marita. So we'll go with Gisore first, and then we'll open it up for Kennedy. Gisore, if you can hear me.
Yes, Maureen. Thank you. You can hear me?
Yes, Gisore, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Mine is just a rejoinder on the question that has just been asked, and I want to thank the presenter for the job well done. Although I think what you were talking about are the rules or the framework which you developed, but let me bring to everyone's attention that political parties as one regulator called the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, which is also represented here. And basically what we are discussing today are political party compliance issues. And I can tell you—
we've lost you.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm saying what we are discussing here from my perspective are political party compliance issues, which in about a month or so ago, the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties just finished an inspection. And part of it is what we are talking about. Number one, about the books of account. Books of account, they are public documents, and every party is required to publish in 2 dailies the political, the audited accounts. So anybody who wants to see them, they're published for the public to see, even if I'm not a member of the party. I think I can refer you to ORPP so that for future we can make better, more informed arguments. Number two, when we are talking about the role of various groups in the political parties, now it's a requirement for policy documents to be developed by every party. So the issue of youths or women or the marginalized is neither here or there, because now every party has to develop policy documents on how they are doing their, or how they are utilizing the various groups. And even in the NEC, there's a requirement of inclusion of this. So I'll want, just for information, I think that might help us in guiding our discussion, because if we discuss from what we think, it might not be very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Agesora, for those remarks, and also, for making it clear to even the question that Captain had asked on in concerning with the the political parties documents and how to access the same, especially on the books of account. And I hope, Captain, now we have it from the horse's mouth, one of the the senior duty bearers from KNC. So I hope that one will help us be even move forward to even make it more clearer. Kennedy, you may.
Hello, Maureen.
Yes, Kennedy.
Are you getting me?
Yes.
Okay, I could want also to thank the panelists and also my co-friends who have already spoken. What Captain Wafupu has already asked, and one of my friends, Ben, has said, I could also want to speak that political parties must have the framework, the way my friends has already said. So it is to join the hands and make sure that even the youths who are being used or who are being mobilized to go and look for votes for other people, they are also paid for. So Wafubo should also know that as a political party, also Jubilee Party, because we're the ruling party, we have all those structures that he's talking about. Also, as Mr. Penn has said, we must have the books of account being audited. So the registrar political parties also should follow and make sure that all political parties are there too, so that we can move this country forward. If we do that, then we shall also know our political parties can be strong and can also make sure what the law requires them to do, they should abide by. I want also to congratulate my elder brother who has spoken from Jubilee Party, our director. He has also given the way forward on the way we do as a party. So I don't want to do or to concentrate much on what has been said, but I also concur with you that we must make sure we have laws that govern us, and also we make sure that every political parties must be inspected and also must abide by the law. So thank you. As we also continue, let us remember that we should also not use the youths in the way they're not also supposed to be used, because youths move here and there because of what they want for daily activity. Thank you, Maureen. Let's hear also from our panelists on what they can also talk about our political parties. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kennedy, for even highlighting that. And then as we move even to Sonia and also give Lucas time to respond, I would like to maybe ask a question to, the various duty bearers from the various political parties that we have here, and ask a question of to, as how our internal documents looking like? Do we have a section or a clause in there that that provides to the members on how they can even request information from within the political party? Maybe we may, Gisore, maybe you may want to come in and clarify that as we move to Sonia.
Hello, thank you, Maureen. I'd like to address from KNC, Sonia, the last question you've actually addressed to my Secretary General, Mr. Gesore, is actually very interesting because KNC is a party after the
Yes, Sonia, I don't know if it's from my side, but I apparently can't hear you at all.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, Sonia, please go ahead.
Okay, I was addressing the question that you have actually addressed to my Secretary General.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, from KNC. We as KNC actually have even all our documents in our online platform. When you go to our website, all that information is actually open. So what we have is that we have members who are not aware of how to access that information. But actually, if they don't get that information, like Captain was saying, Captain, you guys can come and join us at KNC. We have all this information published. And then on the other comment is to appreciate Lucas on what he has shared about the human rights framework and probably correct him a little. There's the last part that he was giving the framework of human rights, if you could go to that slide, where he was giving us as political parties an opportunity to score. Yes, thank you very much. Where you've given us an opportunity to score for our parties, at KNC, I'm grateful that we actually have all the factors in place. And after scoring, it's not actually 48 like you captured down there, but it's supposed to be 28 because there are 7 items, and if you're to score it 4, which KNC is at, we are actually almost about there. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I just hope there's a way all this information, if we can have structures on educating as political parties, this is a challenge for all of us to share the same information at the grassroots level. Because what happens is people do not know what their rights are, not just here.
Thank you, Son.
Sorry?
Did I cut you short? Sorry for that.
Sure.
Okay, thank you, Sonia. And it's good that you have highlighted that, you have your party has in place, all these documents online, but the problem with it is that the members don't know where to even access them. So it means that there is an empowerment, maybe an empowerment issue there, and maybe civic education to some of your members, even at the grassroots, so that we can actually, capacity build them on how to even access these documents, even if they're online or within the political party, they really need to be empowered so that we can ensure that as, even the party progresses, you do not leave, others behind who do not know what's, where we can get even your political party online. What is the website? What does the website look like? How can someone navigate? So I think then there is a need for empowering some of your party members, and also to ensure that you do, civic education wherever you go, even to the, the members that you may want to join your political party. Just a few minutes so that I can look if we have another song. Sonia, I can still see your hand is still up. And this is Sonia. Thank you for that, Lucas. So far, we have Alfred Ongoro coming up. Alfred, maybe you may want to ask the question, as I even look at the chat to see if we have more questions.
Yes, I wanted to get some experience from the other parties, how they deal with minority groups, for example, persons with disabilities, who basically require a lot of empowerment before they can be able to participate in, politics. So could the members share some experiences how this is done?
Sorry, Alfred, apparently I've not heard you clearly. Please come up again.
Yes, under human rights-based approaches,
yes,
participation is one of the key issues, and the concept of non-discrimination and equality. So my question is, how do other political parties, I'm from KNC, and we are trying to see how we can bring on board persons with disabilities. So my question is, can the members share their experience? Did I lose you?
Alfred, you lost me on how to bring on board the PWDs. I
Yes.
didn't hear past that.
So I want the political parties who have managed to achieve that to share their experiences.
Oh, okay. As we wait for the, even for the members who are Jipange so that they can reply to that, maybe Lucas, you may want to just come in and maybe make your comments on the other issues that were raised by the members, and also to give us the best approach on how to deal with, the SIG groups within the various political parties. And then
Thank you.
as Lucas comes on board, and I can see we have, representatives from Jubilee, and also CCM and LPK and UDA. UDA being the newest kid in the block, so we will just, maybe we can take representatives from the three to just tell us what initiatives they have also put in place, so that at least KNC can, take lessons from the political parties.
Thank you, Maureen. I'll begin with the contribution from KNC that looking at the scoring framework, which I shared lastly, that in the quick assessment they are at 28, which is the ideal. I hope as the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, will get an opportunity to come and do an independent audit on the same. Nevertheless, I think also from Gisore, that yes, I started by saying that the framework we are discussing is not based on things that I would say it is from imagination. I've borrowed heavily from Article 91 of the Constitution, the Political Parties Act, and the whole aspects of ORPP as the regulator of political parties. And having it said that, I would say that even as other documents, as Marina said, all the other documents for political parties should not be based on imaginations, should not be based on ideals which are not within the law. It's always good to refer to what the law says, what the Constitution says, and then, of course, inject a bit of experience, the way things are being done in this country, and then work on the documents. Again, I also said that this is a working document, that each political party should feel free to adopt and also assimilate where necessary, and mainstream the same in its operations. Again, the issue of documents, it's very important that in this digital era, that most of these documents we are talking about, if, for instance, a political party has a policy on gender, a policy on youth, a policy on recruitment, a policy on membership, empowerment, and development, that it's important that in the digital era that this be included in our websites and all that. And again, I agree that there are also certain legal requirements which are also based on the right to information and also the relevant act on public information, that whatever needs to be published has to be published, because the moment you don't publish, then you deny members of the public that right to know. For instance, the audited accounts. I think I want to pause at that point, Maureen.
Thank you, Lucas. So we can open it up to these political parties, that is Jubilee and CCM. We have FAP, LPK, and UDA, so that they can give us, even the best practices that they have within their political parties. And as we do that, maybe Marjorie from ORPP can also help us answer this question on access to even the books of accounts and access to the other documents that they may want to get from the political parties. Political parties, are they following what the ORPP is? What the ORPP provides for, or are they short, and what can be done even better? Maybe Marjorie, you can come in and maybe clarify that for us.
Maureen?
Yes, Lucas.
Maureen,
Yes, Lucas.
Before she responds, let me also pose a question to the members that in terms of having these professionally done documents, constitution, code of conduct, internal party documents, and also other statutory requirements. And probably members may not need to respond, but just to reflect on that. Yes, we have these documents in our websites, in our offices, and all that. But then think about having the documents, the content, but then what about enforcement of the same? Because I feel that's where at times the challenge might be. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucas. If we can open it up now for Marjorie.
Good morning, everyone, once again. Thank you very much, Maureen, for the opportunity, and thank you for everyone. This has been very good deliberations. Okay, speaking on the book of accounts for political parties, is there access to this information? Yes, and very much so. Number one, by law, parties are required to publish their books at the end of every close of the financial year, which are financial year running from 1st of July to 30th of June of every year, that is. And parties actually do publish these books of accounts in 2 public dailies, and it is enforced. And as one of the members said, we take it seriously, and we also enforce it through the compliance checklist. And apart from that, we have the same books of accounts published in our own websites, in the ORPP website. And if any member of the public still seeks this information, you can still write to ORPP, and this information will be provided to you. As you know, ORPP we actually keep records for parties, and this information is available to the public. So even if members of the public say that they can't get it from the parties, this information can be gotten directly from our offices. But I know for a fact, and it is a fact, and we check up on it every financial year. In fact, every quarter for compliance check, the parties actually publish this information. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Marjorie, for clarifying that to the members herein. And now it's, we're in a better position to even come to, to write to the ORPP and request, for the documents that we may find it difficult to get from the political parties. I was opening the session up for the, for experience sharing. And just to take you back on PWD's involvement in the political processes. And there's a report that was published by the Westminster Foundation on matters, the state of political inclusion of PWDs within political parties in Kenya. And it was quite shocking to just find out that, most political parties do not have even the PWDs League, but apart from Ford Kenya and Jubilee, who have formed the PWD's League.
Yes.
And ODM, I think Ford Kenya and Jubilee. And then parties like PPK, that is Progressive Party of Kenya, and the Amani National Congress were in the process of also, having to introduce these sections of involvement of PWDs within their constitution so that they can form the PWDs League. So maybe I think we don't have a member from Ford Kenya here today because I haven't seen, or if there may be, because I haven't seen Namusule or Chris Mando. But from Jubilee, I've seen that we have a few representatives. We have Captain Fabua and we have Beatrice. Maybe they may want to, make the clarification on inclusion of the PWDs within the political party, so that even the other political parties represented here can also learn from that. Beatrice, if you can hear me, you may want to just come in and either you or Captain to just make the clarification as we wind up this session.
For Captain, I'm there.
Yes, Captain.
For Jubilee, we have got structures on the ground. We have got the list of all the BWDs. We have got the youth. We have got the marginalized. And when you look at even the last election, Jubilee had the biggest nominated members. Well, people with disabilities were the biggest number. We had the biggest. The youth, we picked a lot. And actually, we were more supportive of the youth, the PWDs. And when during the campaigns, those ones who went out for campaign, we also gave them some finances, but we didn't give them the vehicles. But we were able to give them some money to be able to go around and campaign. And they really did a good job for us. So we have got structures in ground, we have got the league for them, and they always meet occasionally. We come back to the office to report what is going on. So we are okay with that. And Marita, Kenneth, you can add something if you have.
I think, Captain, you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yes, I'm hearing you. He has a problem with the network in Eldoret. Eh?
Yes, I think that's why you are not getting me clear. Are you getting me now?
Me, I'm getting you.
Kennedy, maybe you may want to disable your video so that you can only have your on audio. Maybe you may consider disabling your video so that we can at least have you, we can hear you well.
Are you getting me now?
Yes,
Hello?
you may continue.
What I'm saying, what my friend Captain has said, that's what we did as a party. Because you can see we have people in parliament, we have also some guys in the county assemblies, The youths also were given some slots. So we have women league, we have BWDs leagues, and also youth leagues. Therefore, as a party, we have all those structures, and we could also encourage some of our members who are also some parties to have the same, so that we can do or move forward and also help these people who are unable sometimes to reach some areas. Am I on?
Yes, yes, Kennedy, we can hear you.
So I don't have much to say except what Captain has said. This is what has been done in our party. So we want also some parties to copy and have also the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kennedy, for making those clarifications. And I hope that, you know, as we meet and discuss these things, that you know, the other political parties are taking notes on the same. And I hope
Yes.
that, you know, Jubilee will be open enough to even welcome the other political parties, you know, to even come and learn from them. So I
Yes.
don't know if we have another question, or we're just going to close it off here, because I can see
Maureen?
we had, sorry, yes?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say, I heard you mention about parties with PWD's league.
Yes,
You
sorry.
left KNC out for whatever reason. But anyway, what I will tell you, there was an ORPP sensitization exercise that was at the New Stanley.
Yes.
And it was ably represented by the BWD's leader from KNC, who traveled all the way from Nyamira to come and attend. And I can join our Secretary for Information and Publicity, Bwana Ongoro,
yes,
was question. And why he was asking, he wanted to know, because I know in the next week, we're in the process of receiving more than 300 PWDs to the party because of the information that they're working on the grassroots. So I don't know how these leagues should be recognized.
Thank you, Bona Gisore. We apologize for that. Apparently, I was making reference to a report that was published by the Westminster Foundation on the PWD's league, but that was, I think, published last year. But we are happy to know that you know, even KNC has you know, has in place this PWD league, and we hope that, you know, as we continue to engage, you will get to even learn more on what's the on the constitution of the league and how the PWD league works. I hope we had you know, clarification from CCM, but I can see bet as internet is quite not good. But I hope that as we continue to engage, we will keep on learning from each other, and also ensure that, you know, we have in place these provisions for, you know, access to information, you know, enshrined within our various political parties documents, and also, you know, matters participation, accountability, you know, and discrimination, which comes even to you know, matters of involvement of the SIGs, you know, that brings about matters to do with human dignity, and also empowering our members to ensure that, you know, they know where they can get these political party documents, and they know what the contents are, so that we can ensure that we are empowering them, and also you know, and the most important is to just follow the rule of law, you know, as enshrined in the Constitution, in the Political Parties Act, and the various you know, enabling legislations, and also within the various party documents that, you know, govern the political parties. Since I cannot see that we have any other questions, I can see we don't have any other question from the members. I'm just going to close off the meeting, and as of now, just give it back to Lucas to make his final closing remarks, and then you know, we just close off the meeting. Lucas.
Thank you, Maureen. And thank you, friends from the various political parties represented in the discussion. I have three points. One is that I would encourage political parties to ensure that all their documents, starting from the Constitution, all the documents that are prepared and guide the operations of the political party must rotate around a formidable ideology. By this, I mean that for a political party to be able to entice members of the public to join that political party, the ideology has to be strong. And this ideology must respect the human rights ideals that we just discussed. 2, unless political parties in this country operate within the confines of the rule of law, there will be cases of members feeling that they've been left out in their affairs. There will be cases of members feeling that their rights have not been given, and this will lower the levels of confidence for members to participate in the political parties. I would wish a situation whereby members of political parties would be able to stick within the political parties where they've signed as members for a long period. I'm usually not very comfortable to see even our own leaders, jumping ship after every 5 years from one party to another. And this for me shows that 1, either they don't believe in the ideology or the ideology is short-lived, or 2, they feel that their rights within those political parties have not been violated, and that's why they seek, as they call it, greener pastures. And then lastly, the framework is presented. Maureen has the document we'll be sharing with you. Feel free through CMD to consult where you might want, when it gets to the level of mainstreaming, then we'll be able to work on that. Thank you very much. I want to stop there. Maureen.
Thank you so much, Lucas, and I hope that once we get these documents, actually I have it, I'll be sharing it with the various members that are presented here, and I hope that we are going to look into internally into our political parties, and also look for the gaps therein, and ensure that we are streamlining everything before the 2022 general elections, so that we can also ensure that we have on board even more members from the public being recruited into our various political parties. As for CMD Kenya, let me just take this opportunity to just say asanteni sana for making time to attend today's meeting, and we hope that we'll continue to engage you as we move forward. So let me just close it here and say thank you so much, and we look forward to engaging you further. Asanteni sana na mkona jioni njema. Thank you so much. Thank you, members, and goodbye. Bye.